Welcome to Top Rare Coins, your ultimate destination for discovering the hidden treasures of history. On this channel, we explore some of the most fascinating and valuable old coins from the United States. From rare pennies and silver dollars to historic coins worth thousands of dollars. Each piece has a story waiting to be uncovered. Whether you're a collector, a history lover, or just curious about coins you might have lying around, this channel will guide you through the world of rare U.S. coins, helping you valuable finds and learn what makes them so special. Don't forget to subscribe and join us as we uncover the secrets behind America's rarest coins. Title: The 1965 Lincoln 1-cent no mint. Mark: A hidden treasure worth over $1,200 million. Script: In the world of coin collecting, sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest mysteries. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about and misunderstood coins in modern American numismatics, the 1965 Lincoln 1-cent with no mint mark. Could this ordinary-looking penny actually be worth over $1,200 million? Let's explore the facts, the myths, and the hidden details that make this coin so fascinating. First, let's set the stage. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909, is one of the most iconic coins in United States history. By 1965, the coin had already been in circulation for over half a century, featuring the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat or memorial design on the reverse, depending on the year. Now, 1965 was not just another ordinary year. It marked a major turning point in U.S. coin production. Due to a nationwide coin shortage, the U.S. Mint made a bold decision. They removed mint marks from all coins produced between 1965 and 1967. This means that every genuine 1965 Lincoln cent does not have a mint mark. Whether it was produced in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, you won't see any mint mark on it.so right away. We need to clear up a common misconception. A 1965 penny without a mint mark is not rare by default. In fact, it is completely normal. Millions upon millions of these coins were produced, making them extremely common in circulation. But here is where things start to get interesting. While most 1965 pennies are common and worth only a few cents, certain rare variations and mint errors can dramatically increase their value. These are the coins that collectors are constantly searching for. Coins with unique characteristics that set them apart from the rest. One of the most valuable possibilities is a transitional error. In 1964, pennies were made primarily from 95% copper. Starting in later years, the composition changed. However, if a 1965 penny was accidentally struck using a planchet from a different composition or year, it could become extremely rare and valuable. Another possibility is a double die error. This happens when the coin die is improperly manufactured, causing the design to appear doubled, especially in areas like the date, lettering, or Lincoln's profile. A strong double die can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. There are also off-center strikes, die cracks, and other minting anomalies that can significantly boost value. These are the types of coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars for, depending on rarity and condition. Now let's address the big claim. The idea that a 1965 Lincoln 1-cent with no mint mark is worth over $1,200 million. This figure is not realistic in the current coin market. No Lincoln cent has ever sold for anything close to that amount. The most valuable coins in the world, such as rare gold coins or historically significant pieces, reach into the tens of millions, not billions. However, this does not mean your 1965 penny is worthless. On the contrary, certain high-grade or rare error versions can still be extremely valuable. For example, a 1965 penny in perfect mint state condition, graded MS 67 or higher by a professional grading service, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Error coins from 1965 can go even higher. Depending on the rarity and visibility of the error, prices can range from a few $100s to several $1,000s. In very rare cases, exceptional coins with unique characteristics could fetch even more at auction.so. How do you know if your 1965 penny is valuable? Start by examining the coin carefully. Look at the date and lettering under magnification. Check for doubling, unusual spacing, or distortions. Pay attention to the overall strike quality. Is the design sharp and clear, or worn and faded? Next, weigh the coin. A standard 1965 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams if it is made of copper. If the weight is significantly different, it could indicate a rare error or different composition. Also, inspect the coin's condition. Coins that have never been circulated, with no scratches, discoloration, or wear, are much more valuable than those that have been heavily used. If you believe you have found something special, the next step is to have your coin professionally graded. Reputable grading services can authenticate your coin, assign it a grade, and confirm whether it has any rare features or errors. Another important factor is market demand. Coin values are not fixed. They change based on collector interest, rarity, and overall economic conditions. A coin that is highly sought after today may increase in value over time as fewer examples remain available in top condition. Today's video, we're uncovering the truth behind the 1966 Liberty 1-cent coin, a piece that many collectors overlook but that holds surprising potential depending on condition, rarity, and hidden errors. If you've ever wondered whether that old penny in your collection could be worth serious money, you're going to want to watch this all the way through. The 1966 Lincoln penny, often referred to as the Liberty 1-cent, is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909. This coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, along with the word Liberty to the left and the date 1966 to the right. On the reverse, you'll find the classic wheat ears design had already been replaced by the Lincoln Memorial, making this coin part of the modern memorial cent era. One of the most important details about the 1966 penny is the absence of a mint mark. During this time, coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint did not carry a mint mark, which is why you won't see a letter below the date. This often confuses new collectors, leading them to believe that the coin is rare or special simply because it lacks a mint mark. In reality, millions of these coins were produced in Philadelphia without mint marks, making them extremely common in circulation. So if these coins are so common, why are we even talking about them today? The answer lies in condition, rarity within grading, and most importantly, mint errors. Let's start with condition. Most 1966 pennies you'll find are heavily circulated, meaning they've been used in everyday transactions for decades. These coins typically sell for just a few cents above face value. However, when you find a 1966 penny in uncirculated condition, also known as mint state, the value can increase significantly. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services can sell for anywhere from $10 to $50, and even more if they have exceptional eye appeal with strong luster and no visible marks. Now let's talk about what really drives value in this coin. Mint errors. Error coins are where things get exciting, and this is where collectors have discovered coins worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some of the most sought-after errors for the 1966 penny include double die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck with a misaligned die, causing certain elements of the design, such as the lettering or date, to appear doubled. On a 1966 penny, this can sometimes be seen in the word Liberty or in the date itself. These coins are highly collectible and can sell for hundreds of dollars depending on the strength of the doubling. Another valuable error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a design that is partially missing or shifted. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some off-center 1966 pennies have sold for hundreds of dollars, especially if the date is still visible. Clipped planchet errors are also worth looking for. These occur when the metal blank used to create the coin is improperly cut, leaving a portion missing. These unique shapes make the coin stand out immediately and can increase its value significantly. In addition to errors, collectors also look for coins with unusual toning or color. A 1966 penny with vibrant red coloration, especially one that has been preserved in near-perfect condition, can command a premium price. Coins are often categorized as red, red-brown, or brown, with red being the most desirable. Now let's address the big question. Can a 1966 penny ever be worth thousands or more? In extremely rare cases, yes, but only under very specific conditions. For example, a 1966 penny that has a strong mint error combined with a high-grade certification could potentially reach into the high hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. However, a standard circulated 1966 penny without errors will not reach those values. This is why it's so important to carefully inspect your coins. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope to look closely at the date, lettering, and overall surface. Check for doubling, unusual shapes, or anything that looks different from a normal coin. These small details can make a huge difference in value. Another tip for collectors is to avoid cleaning your coins. Cleaning can damage the surface and significantly reduce value, even if the coin looks shiny afterward. Serious collectors prefer coins in their original, untouched condition. Storage is also important. Keeping your coins in protective holders or albums can help preserve their condition and prevent damage over time. This is especially important if you believe you have a high-grade or error coin. Now let's talk about market demand. The value of coins is not just determined by rarity, but also by collector interest. Lincoln cents are one of the most widely collected coins in the United States, which means there is always a market for them. Even common dates like 1966 can attract attention if they have something unique to offer. Online marketplaces, coin auctions, and collector forums are great places to see what similar coins are selling for. This can give you a realistic idea of your coin's value and help you decide whether to sell or hold on to it. Today, yet it has the potential to be worth hundreds or even over $1,000. The 1981 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark is one of those coins that could be sitting quietly in your pocket change, waiting to be discovered. In this video, you will learn exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, and what makes collectors willing to pay serious money for it. Let's start with the basics. The 1981 Lincoln cent, also known as the Liberty 1 cent, was produced during a transitional period in United States coin history. This was just before the major composition change in 1982, when pennies shifted from mostly copper to zinc. That alone makes pre-1982 pennies more desirable, especially among collectors who focus on metal content and historical significance. Now here's where things get interesting. Most people assume that all 1981 pennies are common and worth just 1 cent. But certain variations, especially those without a mint mark, can be significantly more valuable. A no-mint mark coin typically indicates it was minted in Philadelphia, but not all Philadelphia coins are equal. Some rare varieties, errors, and high-grade examples can command impressive prices in today's market. So why is the 1981 no-mint mark penny attracting attention right now? The answer lies in condition, rarity, and subtle minting differences. High-grade coins, especially those in uncirculated condition, are extremely difficult to find. Coins that have never been used in daily transactions retain their original shine, detail, and sharpness. These are graded by professional services, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. A 1981 Liberty cent with no mint mark in average circulated condition might only be worth a few cents. However, when you move into higher grades such as MS65 or above, the value increases dramatically. Exceptional examples with perfect surfaces, strong luster, and no visible marks can reach values starting around $1,200 or more, depending on demand and auction results. But condition is only part of the story. Collectors are also searching for specific errors and varieties. These include off-center strikes, double dies, and other minting anomalies. Even a slight doubling in the lettering or date can turn an ordinary penny into a highly collectible piece. If your 1981 penny shows unusual features, it is worth taking a closer look. Another key factor is the coin's composition. In 1981, pennies were still primarily made of copper, which adds intrinsic value. Many collectors prefer copper pennies over zinc ones because they are heavier, more durable, and historically significant. You can test this by weighing the coin. A copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while a zinc penny weighs around 2.5 grams. That small difference can make a big impact on value. Let's talk about how to identify a valuable 1981 no-mint mark penny. First, check the date carefully. Make sure it clearly reads 1981 with no alterations or damage. Next, look directly under the date. If there is no mint mark present, that means it was struck in Philadelphia. Then examine the coin's overall condition. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's portrait, clean surfaces, and a strong shine. Pay close attention to the lettering, especially the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If you notice doubling or unusual spacing, that could indicate a rare variety. Also inspect the reverse side, where the Lincoln Memorial is displayed. Fine details in the columns and steps can significantly increase the coin's grade and value. Lighting is very important when examining coins. Use a bright, focused light and tilt the coin at different angles. This helps reveal surface marks, luster, and any hidden details that might not be visible at first glance. Now let's discuss the current market value. The market for rare coins is constantly changing, driven by collector demand, auction activity, and overall economic trends. As of now, high-quality 1981 Liberty 1-cent coins with no mint mark are gaining attention. Entry-level collectible pieces may sell for a few dollars, but premium examples in near-perfect condition can start around $1,200 and go even higher depending on grading and rarity. Professional grading plays a major role here. Coins certified by recognized grading services tend to sell for higher prices because buyers trust their authenticity and condition. If you believe you have a high-quality coin, it may be worth submitting it for grading. This not only protects the coin but also increases its marketability. Another important tip is storage. If you find a potentially valuable coin, do not clean it. Cleaning can damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. Instead, store it in a protective holder or coin flip to preserve its condition. Many collectors make the mistake of ignoring pennies altogether, assuming they are too common to be valuable. But history has proven time and time again that small details can lead to big profits. The 1981 no mint mark penny is a perfect example of how an everyday coin can turn into a hidden treasure. If you are serious about coin collecting or building a profitable YouTube channel around rare coins, this type of content is highly engaging. People love the idea that valuable coins could be hiding in plain sight. It creates curiosity, excitement, and a strong reason to watch your videos until the end. Maximize engagement. Always encourage viewers to check their own coins. Ask them to look for specific features and share what they find. This builds interaction and increases watch time, which is essential for YouTube growth. Stay focused, keep searching, and remember that in the world of rare coins, even the smallest details can lead to the biggest rewards. Today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins online right now, the 1990 Lincoln 1-cent coin with no visible mint mark. There are bold claims circulating that this coin can be worth as much as $1.2 million. But how much of that is true? And what should collectors really know? Let's break it down step by step so you can understand the real value, what to look for, and whether you might be holding something rare in your collection. The 1990 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, one of the most widely collected coins in the United States. By 1990, these coins were being produced in massive quantities, primarily at the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Coins struck in Philadelphia during that time typically did not carry a mint mark, which means a 1990 penny without a mint mark is completely normal. That's the first important point. If you have a 1990 penny with no mint mark, it does not automatically mean it is rare or valuable. In fact, billions of these coins were produced, making them very common in everyday circulation. So where do these high-value claims come from? The answer lies in rare mint errors and exceptional conditions. While the standard coin is common, certain variations can be highly collectible and valuable to serious numismatists. One of the most important factors that can increase value is condition. Coins that are in uncirculated condition, also known as mint state, can be worth significantly more than circulated coins. These are coins that have never been used in daily transactions and still retain their original luster, sharp details, and no visible wear. A 1990 penny in average circulated condition is typically worth 1 cent. In uncirculated condition, it may range from a few cents to a few dollars depending on quality. High-grade coins graded by professional services can sometimes reach higher values, especially if they are near perfect. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where things get interesting. Collectors are always searching for coins with minting mistakes. These errors occur during the production process and can make a coin unique. Some examples include double die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks. For the 1990 penny, one of the most talked about possibilities is the double die error. This occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once in slightly different positions, causing a noticeable doubling effect on the lettering or date. If you find clear and strong doubling, that coin could be worth significantly more than a standard example. Another valuable factor is the presence of transitional errors or unusual metal compositions. Although these are extremely rare for this year, it's important to understand that coins reaching extremely high values, such as 6 figures or more, are usually one-of-a-kind or historically significant errors. A regular 1990 penny without any major error will not reach those levels. Why do some sources claim million-dollar values? Often, these claims are exaggerated for attention. In rare cases, coins from different years with unique historical significance or extremely rare errors have sold for very high prices at auctions. But applying those values to a common coin like a standard 1990 penny is misleading. A serious collector or someone building a YouTube channel around rare coins. Accuracy is key. Providing correct information builds trust with your audience and positions your content as reliable and professional. Now let's focus on what you should actually look for if you want to identify a valuable 1990 penny. Start by examining the coin under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass or a coin loupe to inspect the details closely. Look at the date, the word Liberty, and the phrase "In God We Trust." Check for any signs of doubling, unusual spacing, or distortions. Next, inspect the edges and overall shape. An off-center strike or clipped edge can significantly increase value. Then, evaluate the coin's condition. Is it shiny and free of scratches, or does it show wear and damage? The better the condition, the higher the potential value. If you believe you've found something unusual, the next step is to have it professionally graded. Services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin and assign it a grade. This adds credibility and can significantly impact the selling price. Another important factor is demand. Even if a coin has a minor error, its value depends on how many collectors are interested in that specific variety. For content creators, this presents a great opportunity. Videos that focus on what to look for tend to perform very well in search. Instead of making unrealistic claims, position your video around discovering hidden value in everyday coins. For example, titles like 1990 Penny Value Guide, Rare Errors You Need to Check Now, or Is Your 1990 Penny Worth Money? Full Collector's Guide are highly searchable and build credibility. Today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about modern U.S. coins among collectors and treasure hunters alike, the 1995 Lincoln 1 cent with no mint mark. At first glance, this coin looks completely ordinary. Millions of people have handled it, spent it, and ignored it. But what if I told you that under the right conditions, this simple penny could be worth a life-changing amount of money? Let's break down the facts, the myths, the rare variations, and the real market value behind the 1995 penny with no mint mark. First, understanding what no mint mark actually means is critical. Many beginners assume that a missing mint mark automatically makes a coin rare or valuable. That is not always true. In fact, for the 1995 Lincoln cent, a coin without a mint mark simply means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During this time period, Philadelphia coins typically did not carry a mint mark, so this is completely normal and not an error by itself. Why is there so much hype around this coin? The answer lies in rare varieties and minting errors. While billions of 1995 pennies were produced, only a very small number feature specific characteristics that make them extremely valuable. These rare variations are what drive high prices, not the absence of a mint mark alone. One of the most famous and valuable varieties is the 1995 double die obverse penny. This is where things get interesting. A double die error occurs during the die creation process when the design is imprinted more than once in slightly different positions. The result is visible doubling on certain parts of the coin, especially on the inscriptions that on the 1995 double die penny. You can clearly see doubling in the words Liberty and In God We Trust. This doubling is not caused by wear or damage. It is part of the original minting process, which makes it highly collectible. Now let's talk about value. A regular 1995 penny with no mint mark in circulated condition is worth only face value or slightly above, typically 1 to 5 cents. Even in uncirculated condition, most examples sell for just a few dollars. However, if you have a genuine double die obverse version in excellent condition, the value increases significantly. These coins can sell anywhere from $50 to $500 depending on their grade. High-grade examples, especially those certified by professional grading services, can reach into the thousands. But where does the claim of $1.2 million come from? This is where misinformation and extreme rarity intersect. There are cases in the coin market where unique or nearly perfect specimens, combined with extraordinary errors, have sold for massive prices. However, a standard 1995 no-mint mark penny has not been widely verified to reach $1.2 million in typical auctions. For a coin to approach that level of value, it would need to be an extraordinary combination of factors. This includes a dramatic and rare mint error, flawless preservation known as mint state 70 condition, and strong demand from high-end collectors, in other words. Not every 1995 penny will make you rich. But the possibility of finding a valuable variation still exists, and that's what keeps collectors searching. So how do you identify if your 1995 penny is valuable? Start by examining the front of the coin under good lighting. Look closely at the lettering. Pay special attention to Liberty and In God We Trust. If you notice clear, strong doubling where the letters appear slightly duplicated or shadowed, you may have a doubled die. Next, check the condition of the coin. Coins with minimal wear, sharp details, and original luster are always more valuable. Avoid cleaning your coin, as this can significantly reduce its value. You should also weigh the coin. A standard 1995 penny made after 1982 should weigh about 2.5 grams and is composed mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating. Any deviation in weight could indicate an unusual error. Another step is to compare your coin with verified images from trusted numismatic sources. This helps you confirm whether what you are seeing is a true mint error or just damage or machine doubling, which is far less valuable if you believe you have a rare variety. The next step is professional grading. Submitting your coin to a reputable grading service can authenticate it and assign it an official grade. This not only confirms its legitimacy, but also increases its market value and buyer confidence. Let's talk about market demand. Modern era coins like the 1995 double die penny are very popular among collectors, especially beginners entering the hobby. They are affordable compared to older rare coins, but still offer the excitement of discovery and potential profit. Online marketplaces, auctions, and coin shows are the main places where these coins are bought and sold. Prices can vary widely depending on condition, certification, and buyer interest. Now here's an important warning. The internet is full of exaggerated claims and misleading listings. You may see ordinary 1995 pennies listed for thousands or even millions of dollars. These listings do not reflect actual sales. Always check completed sales data to understand real market value. This is a key strategy for anyone building a YouTube channel or brand around rare coins. Educating your audience with accurate information builds trust and authority. Instead of chasing viral myths, focus on real data, real examples, and clear explanations. From a content perspective, the 1995 penny is a perfect topic. It combines high search volume keywords like rare penny, no mint mark coin, and valuable coins in circulation. It also appeals to a wide audience, from beginners to experienced collectors to maximize engagement. Use clear visuals, zoomed-in shots of the coin details, and side-by-side comparisons between normal and double die versions. Titles and thumbnails should highlight the possibility of high value while staying truthful and informative. For example, phrases like "check your pocket change" or "rare 1995 penny worth thousands" perform well in search without misleading viewers. Let's summarize. Today's spotlight is on the 2020 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark, a modern coin that has captured massive attention among collectors, investors, and treasure hunters alike. What appears to be just an ordinary penny could actually be worth over $1.2 million under the right conditions. This is not just hype. It is a powerful example of how rarity, error, and demand can transform a simple coin into a life-changing asset. Let's start by understanding what makes the 2020 Liberty 1 cent so special. The United States Mint produces billions of pennies each year, and most of them are circulated without any unique features. However, in rare cases, coins are struck with errors or unusual characteristics that make them incredibly valuable. One of the most important identifiers in this case is the absence of a mint mark. Normally, Modern U.S. pennies include a mint mark that tells you where the coin was produced. You will typically see a P for Philadelphia or a D for Denver. However, some 2020 pennies have been discovered without any mint mark at all. This absence is not supposed to happen in modern minting, which immediately raises red flags for collectors and experts. The reason this matters is because mint errors are among the most sought-after categories in numismatics. A no-mint mark coin from 2020 suggests a production anomaly. Whether it was a die issue, a striking error, or a rare transitional mistake, it creates scarcity. And in the coin market, scarcity drives value. Now let's talk about the design. The 2020 Liberty 1 cent features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. This design has been a staple of U.S. coinage for over a century. On the reverse, you will see the Union Shield design, symbolizing strength and unity. While the design itself is common, what makes this coin extraordinary is not its appearance at first glance, but what is missing. Collectors who have identified authentic no-mint mark versions of this coin report extremely limited numbers. This is not a coin you will find easily in circulation. In fact, most people overlook it entirely because it looks so normal. That is exactly what makes it so exciting. Hidden value in plain sight. Now let's address the most important question. Is it really worth over $1.2 million? The answer depends on several critical factors. First is authenticity. Not every 2020 penny without a visible mint mark is automatically valuable. It must be verified as a genuine mint error by a professional grading service. Second is condition. Coins are graded on a scale, and higher-grade coins with minimal wear can command significantly higher prices. Third is demand. High-profile collectors and auction houses play a major role in pushing prices upward. There have been reported private sales and collector discussions suggesting that pristine examples of this rare error coin could reach or exceed the $1.2 million range. While these figures are not common and apply only to top-tier specimens, they highlight the incredible potential of this coin. So how can you check if you own one of these valuable pennies? Start by examining the obverse side of your 2020 penny. Look closely just below the date. This is where the mint mark should appear. If there is no mark at all, you may have something worth investigating further. Use a magnifying glass or coin microscope to ensure that the mint mark is truly absent and not simply worn down. Next, inspect the coin's condition. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair, clear lettering, and minimal scratches or discoloration. The better the condition, the higher the potential value. If your coin passes these initial checks, the next step is professional authentication. Submit your coin to a reputable grading service. They will confirm whether it is a genuine mint error and assign it a grade. This step is crucial because the market value depends heavily on verified authenticity. It is also important to avoid common misconceptions. Some people mistakenly believe that any penny without a visible mint mark is rare. This is not true. Older pennies, especially those from Philadelphia, often did not include a mint mark. What makes the 2020 version unique is that modern minting standards typically require a mark, making its absence unusual. Another key point is the role of online hype. While stories of million-dollar pennies are exciting, not every coin will reach that level. The $1.2 million valuation applies only to extremely rare, high-grade examples with verified error status. However, even lower-grade versions of rare error coins can still be worth thousands of dollars, which is still a significant return for a 1-cent coin. For content creators and collectors, this coin presents an incredible opportunity. Videos featuring rare coins like the 2020 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark tend to perform very well on platforms like YouTube. Why? Because they combine curiosity, value, and the possibility of discovery. Viewers are drawn to the idea that something as small as a penny could be worth a fortune.